Hey Matthew, how's it going?
That's going great, man. How you doing?
Good. I'm doing good. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'm happy. I'm happy to talk to you. You've had good conversations before. I'm excited to be one of them.
Yeah, I'm very excited to do this as well. Can you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah. Well, my name's Matthew Srbely. 22 years old, from Brampton, Ontario, and I've basically just been playing soccer my whole life. I just signed with Tampa Bay Rowdies, and I'm loving it down here. And yeah, basically, whole life's been about soccer pretty much, and I love it. I'm blessed to be doing what I'm doing.
So, okay, let's start with some fun questions. Uh, who's your favorite team?
Favorite team, European football team would be Barcelona, FC Barcelona.
And I'm guessing your favorite player is Messi.
Actually, no. Well, right now, mm, I don't really have a favorite player right now, but all time it would have to be between Iniesta and Zidane.
Nice. What about what's your favorite pair of cleats?
Ooh, I think my favorite all-time pair would be the Nike Tiempo sixes. Yeah, those have to be my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what about your most memorable soccer moments? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when I ask you that?
Probably my first professional goal. Um, the start of the 2019 season. Within 10 minutes of the first game starting, I scored my first professional goal, which was pretty special.
And who'd you score that with?
I was on Toronto reserves, and we scored it against New York Red Bulls in Red Bull Arena.
Nice. How many fans
Oh,
did you guys have in that game?
not many, probably a couple thousand, but it was more so the moment that was special about it.
Nice. And do you have any favorite stadiums that you've played in? Because New York's Red Bull Stadium is pretty big.
That has to be one of them. BMO Field definitely would be one of them. Um, Honestly, FC Cincinnati Stadium, just because it was filled. We were playing it in front of like 28,000 people. Which
Wow.
is awesome. So that had to be one of my favorite experiences. Yeah, probably those three would be my favorite.
Let's quickly tap into playing in front of 28,000 people. What kind of atmosphere is that?
It's completely different than anything I was used to at the time, and even now, like um, 28,000 people just give a different vibe, different atmosphere, different energy to the game, even if they're not supporting you. Makes it very difficult to hear your own teammates, and yeah, it's just a different experience, man. And not having fans, for a lot of these big teams don't have fans right now. I can imagine how different it must feel for them, not having that energy, not having that support behind them. And we're lucky. I'm lucky here in Tampa to have not 28,000, but thousands of people come to the game and support. And the atmosphere here is just as good as it was in Cincinnati, and there's not even half the amount of people. So you know fans are everything. It's amazing to have support like we do.
Yeah. So, do you have any, soccer stories? Like, did you ever play soccer in the house?
Oh, of course, yeah. I think anybody who loves the game has played, throughout their whole life. Even to this day, I dribble the ball around the house. Um, it's just kind of become a part of me, and I genuinely love the game. So anytime I can have a ball on my feet, I will. And my parents probably didn't enjoy it, but all the time, but they were always supportive. So I'm lucky in that sense too.
For sure. Last fun question: who's better, Messi or Ronaldo?
I think it's an easy question for me. I think it has to be Messi. It,
Why?
I just think it's nothing, like, taking nothing away from Ronaldo. I think Messi is just on a completely different level. Just the way he dribbles, creates, scores. He just does everything, and just to watch him play is just you know unbelievable. You know.
For sure. Okay, Matt, take us back in time where soccer all began.
I, so like an earliest memory type thing.
Where it all started, like where it began. Who put you into soccer? Or who would you play for?
Um, my for so it began like my dad obviously played and he got me into the sport. But I remember playing in this like facility with like carpet, not even real like turf, like just carpet when I was like super young.
Mhm.
All I remember is just like dribbling the ball around the other guys, and obviously I was a lot better than them at the time. But that's my earliest memory. It's like blue carpet, playing just playing soccer. It doesn't matter where you play, and just dribbling the ball around, and then obviously progressing from there. But that has to be probably where it all started for
So
me.
what age did you start playing at?
I honestly I couldn't tell you an exact one, but I would say like probably 4, 5. I would say maybe around there.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty young. And then you said your dad played. Do you know how long your dad played?
Yeah, he played throughout. When he was younger, obviously went to university. Played for the University of Toronto, but he was a good player. He had the opportunity to go pro. He obviously just decided to go to school, get education, but he's been one of my biggest reasons why I pursued this is because he said you know he loved the game so much he got me into it, and he knew I always wanted to do this, and he helped me, supported me as my whole family did to pursue this career.
What teams have you played for? Prior
uh,
for Tampa.
Professionally, I was with Toronto FC2 for I think 3 years, and now Tampa Bay. It's my first year. But I played for like Mississauga, Croatia. I played for Mississauga Falcons. I played for Brampton Youth back in the days. Um, yeah, and obviously Royal Blue and House League. But if you want that far back, but yeah, professionally just Toronto and Tampa.
How many years do you have playing professionally right now?
This is my 5th year.
Nice,
Yeah, yeah,
nice. And speaking of Brampton, because we're both from Brampton,
yeah, yeah.
who other players have you played with from Brampton?
Oh, everybody pretty much. Yeah, it's like honestly, back in the days, I remember playing with a big group of guys, even during this off season. Getting pickup games when you could, especially with COVID now, like the restrictions. But when the restrictions allowed it, I get together with a bunch of Brampton guys and play. And there's a lot of good players that come out of there and are still from playing in Brampton. That it's a good level if you find the right pickup game.
Yeah, and it's pretty interesting 'cause we never knew each other until COVID. Um,
Yeah,
we were what is it called at the school Marcelina's. Pick-
yeah,
That's the first
ex-
time we met,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, it's bro, it's pretty interesting how we reconnected in Florida here in Tampa Bay Rowdy. Naples was playing against you guys as a friendly game organized through Enoch, which is the
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, when I seen you, I'm like, that's crazy because I didn't know you were down here. You know what I'm saying?
And I likewise, I didn't know you were here, and I remember, can't remember if I was running to the change room or something where I looked over and I saw you, and I'm like, oh, that's like weird. I didn't know he was down here, and I obviously we talked after the game, and I knew that you were with Naples and that, but yeah, it was just a random experience, just seeing someone I just met for the first time all the way in Florida, when I just moved there.
Exactly, exactly. And the time frame was within a month or two after we
Uh,
connected. So it's
yeah,
pretty
which was
interesting. As again, it's a small world. Pretty
yeah,
interesting. And then
yeah.
yeah, and then I also did a interview with Richard. I'm not too sure if you've seen it, but you know Richard too.
Yeah, yeah, very well actually. Yeah,
It's
he I first met him when he was with Toronto, the academy system, like way back, like a long time ago, and he was our athletic trainer. He would strength coach more so, and so he would run us through like the gym sessions and all that sort of stuff. And then I reconnected with him this off season where he was training me at his facility, which was awesome. I loved it, and I'll be going back there probably every off season. Starting next year even.
Yeah, shout out to speed training. It's speed training, right? Speed training.
Yeah, it's awesome facility, awesome work they're doing, and I loved it. I was there almost every day this off season, training with him.
Nice. Do you feel like that you got faster? What do you think improved after training with Richard?
Yeah, I think it's he has things in there that you don't see anywhere else. Like the weighted treadmill, the the overspeed training, the incline treadmill, and just his knowledge in general. It's hard to find guys that can help you in such a big way in such a short amount of time. And so I felt a big difference, or even like right away. You know, um, but obviously it's a process, and as the years go by, going to see him more often every off season, I can see big gains and big improvements from that.
Nice. So you're playing with Tampa Bay Rowdies right now. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fantastic actually. Um, Only lost one away game, and then we won the rest. So we're undefeated at home, and we're doing well. The culture at the club is amazing. Players are amazing. Staff is amazing. Like, it's just a great situation right now. We're just trying to keep this momentum going throughout the season, and not take our foot off the gas pedal, because it is so early. These games won't mean anything if we don't continue it.
Of course, that's awesome. What position are you playing right now then?
I'm playing in the attacking midfielder role.
Yeah. And how
Yeah.
are you enjoying it? Are you playing in that position right now?
I really enjoy it. Like I said, there's a lot of good players around me. To play off of, to play with. They often make me look better. And I hope to make them look better in some situations. But it's really fun, and the coach has us playing in a really really enjoyable way, where we know what we're doing. Where you know, off the ball, on the ball. There's no questions of who's where, what do I do, this or that. He's really prepared us to play as a team. During the season.
Yeah, the coaches seem really I watched like a couple of videos and the team's solid. The first time that I've seen, I can only imagine where you guys are now. So you guys have a solid team. How do you train for your position? Do you do anything specific for training in your, when you're training to prepare for games in your position?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is just thinking about what you're going to be doing during the game. You don't want to just be um, doing anything and everything. Because it there does come a point where you can do too much. And so you really want to focus in on what's going to give me the biggest, what's going to improve my game the most if I focus on it for X amount of time. And so for me, it's just been getting on the half turn, driving with the ball, and then finishing and or slipping somebody through, and just really just repetitively working on that until I'm at a place where I can move on to something else and have that maybe work on that a couple times, not as often, but um, you know put that in my repertoire. But you really want to work on a few things at once and just make sure that you get them down. And then when you're in training, that's the biggest thing. It's like when you're in training, you know, focus on doing those things. Don't just wait till after the session to work on them. When you're in a small sided game, um, it's important that, okay, how am I going to get on the half turn, and where am I going to drive with the ball during a game situation? And it's easy to drive against the cone, but if you're not doing it in the small sided games, I think that's where the biggest improvements come from, is when you're thinking about it during the session and you're doing it during the session.
Got it. Do you have any tips for the viewers that are watching this, who will be watching this, for your position?
I think, like I said, just think about what's going to give you the biggest improvement right now, and just focus on, um, you know, doing it during the session. And if you need extra reps, do it after the session. But, more. is not always better. I think,
Right.
do the reps, as if you were in a game. Try to do them as perfectly as possible, um, and strive for that over, I'm going to do 100 reps, but they could all be, crap.
Got it. Less is more and more is less.
Exactly, and stay consistent. One session is not going to do anything. It's, what am I going to do every day, or every, 2 times a week, or you figure everybody's different, so it's an individual thing, but you got to figure it out and then stay consistent with it.
Got it. Those are some really good tips. Did you go to college or university?
No, I went straight into the reserve team at Toronto.
Got it. So no online school, nothing.
I've taken a few courses since then, but nothing just to keep my mind working. We have a lot of free time as athletes, and it's
Yeah.
important to your brain sharp. But yeah, a few courses here and there, but nothing too crazy.
I mean, you're a professional right now. So you're saying there's a lot of free time. Run us through, a schedule of a week schedule to a weekend, how it would look, a perspective from you.
Uh, you know, it's I'm lucky the staff here really has it down to a science. So, we basically they have us training at different intensity levels throughout the week to prepare us for the game. So usually Mondays is it's still a tough session, but it's more so to get us into the rhythm of things. Get us working a little bit. But Tuesday and Wednesday are the really heavy sessions of the week, and it's designed that way. So usually on those days, you just want to come home and you don't really want to do anything after training. Like you just want to make sure you recover from those days. And then you have Thursday and Friday. Thursday's a little bit uh, less intense of a day just to recover from Wednesday. And if you feel good, you can get some extra stuff in, whatever. And then Friday's obviously the day before the game, and everybody's different what they want to do. I usually like to get little extra work after training. Nothing over 10 minutes, just to keep myself taking over, and yeah, then just early to bed and get ready for the game. We usually play at night, so we have a full day to prepare. But yeah, that's usually how it goes. It's nothing too exciting, to be fair. Yeah.
Run us through a schedule of a day before, not a day before the game, the day of the game. Um, you said these games run at nighttime, so do you have a schedule that you follow throughout the day, or do you just go throughout the day until the game?
Yeah, so the main things I try to get done during the day is, I like to take a nap after lunch. Is basically the biggest habit I have on game days is just a nap, but also just making sure I'm eating right and hydrating. Those three things. Nutrition and sleep is the most important on a game day, and I tend not to do anything too strenuous on a game day. I just kind of just lay around, stretch a little bit, maybe go for a light walk, but just really conserving energy for the game.
Right? What about, your mindset? Are you, playing affirmations? Do you write affirmations? Are you listening to music right before the game? Little details like this. Do you put your right shin pad on first before your left? Like, do you have these little details of things that you do before the game?
Yeah, I would say, obviously the mindset's important. I think that comes from sort of your preparation. There's no really difference to, you know, my mindset on a training day compared to a game day. You obviously want to do well. You obviously want to, perform. But listen to some music before the game. I like to just like, relax. I like to talk to teammates. I like to juggle a ball. That's how I like to get warmed up. Pretty much in the change room, juggle a ball for 20 minutes, 25 minutes. With my teammates, play two touch. Just really kind of relax and get into like a rhythm before I get onto the field, and then actually get into some passing, some moving, and then obviously the game.
Nice. I like that. What sacrifices have you and your family made for soccer?
Yeah, like my family's made probably the biggest ones. I remember even when I was younger, just my parents driving me everywhere, my dad driving me everywhere. taking me to the field if I wanted to, do extra, coaching me at one point. They probably made the biggest sacrifices, with time, time, money, making sure I'm eating right, um, and just supporting, when I'm having bad games, being there for me, um, and just teaching me little things along the way, like the regular stuff. But for me, I enjoy it, so it's not really a sacrifice, but for them, I know my family's made like tremendous sacrifice to allow me to work hard and get to where I am.
Yeah, shout out to all the parents, to the family.
For real.
So you signed your first professional contract with Toronto FC. What were your first initial thoughts before signing? How did you feel about it? And how was your family's reaction?
Yeah, I mean, growing up playing for the academy, that's the ultimate goal. Is to make it through, take steps through the ranks. And I was, over the moon. I was ecstatic, as was my family. And I just was so excited to sign my first contract, and that was just a big moment for me. And it was like, it was a little like moment, I would say, or token of of the hard work I put in, and you want to be grateful for those moments, and realize that what got you there, the hard work, the sacrifice, all that. But more than anything, just excitement and just all that stuff.
Nice. What are three tips you can share with the viewers that want to go pro?
Means be consistent, I think, is the biggest one. Uh, be consistent, be hardworking, and I would say be brave, because it's not an easy road, I would say, and not many people make it to where they want to go. Um, and it's never ending. Once you get to a position, it's you have to work even harder to maintain that position. So I think being consistent, hardworking, and be brave. Don't be afraid of failing. Don't be afraid of bad games. All that stuff would be the three.
I think those are great tips, and I think an important thing that I didn't ask you yet is, through your processes of signing these contracts, did you ever have an agent, or were these things that you did by yourself?
No, I had agent. I had an agent for my first one, and now, obviously, I have an agent, a different one now. But yeah, I think finding the right agent is very important, and it's not something you want to jump into, blindly. I think that you'll know the good people when you find them, and not to say anybody I've worked with is a bad person at all. Don't take that from that. But it's really it's a big relationship for your career, and you have to make sure that the person is looking out for you, and obviously wants the best for you. And like I said, I haven't worked with anybody who's done me wrong or anything of that sort. But I think I found the right guy now.
So, when you say you think you found the right guy now, what things that you see or that he does that, you're like, all right, this is the guy. Because obviously you've had experience working with other agents, but what
Yeah,
makes you say this with the agent you're working with right now?
yeah, and just because, and I want to make it clear that like nothing that I say here is because somebody else hasn't done it or this or that. But I think you want to have someone you enjoy, you can talk to, not just about soccer but about life and stuff. Um, but I think the main thing is you don't want anybody greedy. You don't want people like, that are obviously just in it for the money or this or that. You want people that are genuinely trying to help you, and you want somebody that's proactive in how they work. You don't want to be the one always asking, "Hey, what about this? What about that?" You want somebody in your corner that's going to be thinking of these things for you. And helping you along this process. But it's obviously, performing and playing well is the main thing. So no agent's gonna get you to Real Madrid if or Barca if you don't deserve it. I think, an agent is going to help you, navigate this world a little bit, but again, it comes down to your performance. And that's the biggest thing is no agent is that good where they can get you somewhere. Maybe temporarily, but in the long run, you'll get found out pretty quickly. So it's about performance, and then you know the agent is secondary, I think.
Understood. So the main thing is performance on the field, and people will come looking for you.
100%. And then if you have a good guy in your corner, somebody that wants to do best for you, then it's a perfect formula.
Yeah, those are good points. I like that. So, Matt, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me. Um, actually, what? Let me ask you one last question.
Yeah.
Do you think about life outside of soccer right now? Do you plan what you're going to do afterwards, or are you just focused on the right now?
I mean, yeah, you obviously here and there think about it, but I wouldn't say like I'm planning. Uh, you obviously want to kind of know what you want to do afterwards, but when you're in the thick of it, you're so focused on what's right in front of you, but obviously you want to be prepared for, life after soccer as well. And so, like you said, you asked about courses and stuff and taking online school. I think that's great, to get, you know, pursue some interest, and get your post soccer life sorted even before you finish playing.
Okay, Matt, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview with me. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome, man. I had a good time talking to you.